Gwen Stacy's Ghost Spider is easily one of the most popular new characters from Marvel, but don't let the cool costume fool you. Her actual comic book origin is so drenched in tragedy and guilt that the Marvel Cinematic Universe might never be willing to faithfully adapt it. You see, at the heart of her story isn't a triumphant hero, but a young woman haunted by the death of her best friend Peter Parker, a death she had a direct hand in. In this video, we're breaking down the absolutely gut-wrenching origin of Ghost Spider and exploring why her guilt-ridden journey and her conflict with her own dad, Police Captain Stacy, creates a challenge that Marvel Studios may never want to take on. For a lot of us, our introduction to this Gwen Stacy was through the stunning animation of the Spiderverse films. Voiced by Haley Steinfeld, she's the definition of cool. She's a competent, graceful, and powerful hero, a loyal friend to Miles Morales, and a drummer with a serious edge. Let's be real, she's the total package, an instant icon. Her design is perfect, her personality is magnetic, and her backstory seems to hit all the familiar Spider hero beats. Get powers, face a tragedy, fight crime. But the films, as great as they are, only give us a peek into the darkness that truly defines her character. They tell us her best friend Peter died and her dad is hunting her, but they don't have the time to really unpack the sheer weight of that reality. To do that, and to understand why the MCU would be hesitant to go there, we have to go back to Earth 65, and the moment that shattered Gwen Stacy's life. On Earth 65, Gwen Stacy isn't just Parker's girlfriend, she's the main event. She's a free spirit drumming for her band, the Mary Janes, and just trying to get through high school under the watch of her single dad, NYPD Captain George Stacy. Her best friend is the quiet, often bullied Peter Parker, a total reversal of the classic dynamic. Then one day it's Gwen, not Peter, who gets bitten by that fateful genetically engineered spider. At first, being Spider-Woman is a rush. It's an escape and a way to channel her rebellious side. But her fame has a devastating side effect. Her best friend Peter, tired of being a victim and idolizing the new Spider-Woman, creates a serum to make himself special and powerful, just like her. The experiment goes horribly wrong, twisting him into a monstrous, violent creature, his universe's version of the Lizard. This monster crashes their high school prom, and Gwen, as Spider-Woman, has to step in. In the brutal fight that follows, Gwen, still an inexperienced hero, doesn't pull her punches. She fights to stop the monster, and she does. But as the creature lies defeated, it shrinks back to its human form. To her absolute horror, Gwen sees that the monster she just mortally wounded was her best friend, Peter Parker. He dies right there in her arms, whispering that he just wanted to be special like her. This is the bedrock of her character. It's a complete flip of the classic Spider-Man story. Peter Parker's origin on Earth 616 is defined by inaction, failing to stop the thief who kills his Uncle Ben. Gwen's origin is defined by action. She didn't fail to save Peter, she actively fought him, and in doing so she killed him. The fallout is immediate and for Gwen, catastrophic. With no proof that Peter had transformed into a monster, the media, led by a furious J. Jonah Jameson, brands Spider-Woman a murderer. She isn't seen as a hero, she's a menace who killed a troubled kid. The guilt becomes a ghost that hangs over her every move. And then, the story twists the knife. The citywide manhunt for the killer, Spider-Woman, is put under the command of one of the most respected cops in the NYPD, Gwen's own father, Captain George Stacy. He's honor-bound to hunt the vigilante responsible for Peter Parker's death, with no idea that he's chasing his own daughter. Every time Gwen puts on that mask to do good, she isn't just dodging criminals, she's running from her own father and his police force. Every heroic act digs her deeper into a hole, making her more of a fugitive in the eyes of the man she loves most. This isn't just a secret identity, it's an open wound in her most important relationship, forcing her into a state of crushing isolation. So let's connect this back to the MCU. For all its epic battles and heartbreaking losses, the MCU has a pretty specific vibe. Its heroes are, at their core, aspirational. Think about it. Tony Stark builds his way out of a cave. Steve Rogers gets a super soldier serum that matches the size of his heart. Even the MCU's Peter Parker, while losing mentors and loved ones, is never portrayed as the one who killed him. Gwen's origin is completely different. It starts not with a choice to be a hero, but with a horrific accident that makes her a pariah. Her main motivation isn't some grand ideal like, with great power comes great responsibility, but a desperate need for redemption for something she can never take back. The core conflict isn't fighting a supervillain. It's an internal battle with her own guilt, made worse by a fractured relationship with her father. To adapt this faithfully, Marvel would have to introduce a major young hero whose defining act is accidentally killing her best friend. It would mean dedicating a huge chunk of the story to a plot where her own loving father is trying to put her in prison. While the MCU has touched on darker themes, it almost always lands on a note of hope. Gwen's origin is a story about being haunted, trapped by the past, and that level of psychological darkness is a world away from the optimistic tone that has made the MCU's new heroes so successful. And the darkness doesn't stop with her origin. It infects her entire world. Her rogues gallery isn't just a bunch of colorful bad guys. It's filled with twisted versions of heroes we know, hammering home the cynical nature of Earth 65. The biggest criminal threat in her New York City, Matt Murdock. That's right, but on Earth 65, he isn't the righteous daredevil. He's a cold, manipulative lawyer who worked for the Kingpin before taking over the criminal empire himself as the new Kingpin. He sees Spider-Woman as just a pawn on a chessboard and even sends an assassin to kill her father just to control her. And one of the top cops obsessed with hunting her down? Frank Castle. In her universe, the Punisher isn't a vigilante, he's a ruthless NYPD captain who takes the manhunt over from Gwen Stacy. Her world is one where the very people who should be symbols of justice are her main antagonists. The lines aren't just blurred, they're completely inverted, creating an oppressive atmosphere where Gwen can't trust anyone. As her story goes on, the moral complexity just gets deeper. After temporarily losing her powers, Gwen makes a desperate choice to bond with her universe's Venom symbiote to keep fighting crime. This act further complicates her public image and eventually leads her to turn herself in. She was convicted for the manslaughter of Peter Parker and served time in a SHIELD maximum security prison. Later, to get a fresh start away from the name Spider-Woman, which is infamous on her world, she starts spending time on the main Marvel Earth 616. It's here she learns about the fate of the Gwen Stacy from this universe, who was tragically killed. Reflecting on this, she morbidly jokes that death loves Gwen Stacy, seeing herself as a ghost in this new world, a replacement for the one they lost. She takes on a new name that reflects her haunted life. Ghost Spider. The name itself is a tribute to the tragedies that define her. Ghost Spider has one of the most compelling and tragic character arcs in modern comics. But could it really survive the transition to the MCU with its dark heart intact? Let us know what you think in the comments. Should Marvel Studios take the risk? Or is this story better left to the comics and animation? And if you enjoy deep dives like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Ultimately, the story of Ghost Spider is a story about guilt. It's about a hero born from a fatal mistake, who is hunted by her own father, and who lives in a world where familiar heroes are corrupt. Her journey is a constant, uphill battle for redemption against the past she can't escape. While this makes for a phenomenal and emotional story, it's precisely this unrelenting darkness that makes her a tough fit for the MCU's proven formula. The MCU thrives on creating heroes who inspire us and overcome the odds to become symbols of hope. Ghost Spider's story is a powerful narrative about surviving trauma, but it isn't an aspirational one. It's a cautionary tale, steeped in a level of psychological grit and moral ambiguity that Marvel Studios has so far seemed unwilling to build a new franchise on. Perhaps some stories, in all their tragic beauty, are just too dark for the big screen. Thanks for watching. If you want more deep dives into the lore of your favorite characters, leave me a comment who you would like to see next. But wait, catch another video before go, and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss a thing. Until next time.